Today is a big day for Starbucks lovers. This is because it's the official launch date for the fall menu. This means pumpkin spice lattes are back. And while these drinks are a fan favorite, they can become a little pricey depending on how often you stop by. So why not make a copycat version of this drink at home? Joining me this morning is Yumna Jawad, also known as Feel Good Foodie on social media, to show us how to make these tasty drinks. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So far, so good. So far, so good. It is Thursday, so we're very close to the weekend. I know a lot of folks are excited, Yumna, about the fall menu being released today. So walk us through this. What ingredients do you need to have to make this pumpkin spice latte at home?
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And I'm so excited to share this recipe. I'm actually going to share two versions of the recipe today. We're going to do the traditional warm pumpkin spice latte, but in some places like Houston or even in Grand Rapids today where it's 90 degrees, I'm also going to share a cold version. So let's get started with the warm version. All you really need to make this is milk, pumpkin puree, some pumpkin spice, and then any kind of sweetener you want. So if you're baking up for the holidays or for the fall, I think you're probably gonna have some pumpkin puree around, and pumpkin pie spice is something that you can easily mix together, or you can also find it in stores everywhere lately. So this is pumpkin puree right here. It's a beautiful orange color. Yeah. You wanna be careful not to get pumpkin pie, but just pumpkin puree. And then I'm going to add to it the pumpkin pie spice. And then my sweetener is going to be some cane sugar. I'm gonna sweeten it just a little bit extra with some vanilla extract, which is optional. And then we're just gonna add any kind of milk you want. So put the milk in here, and I like to have the milk warm, or you can warm it up after. So what we're gonna do basically is create a mixture that's got the pumpkin all folded in there so that it's like really unique and it's not separated. So we mix this together and pour it on top of the coffee. All right, I've got a blender right here. That's it. It just takes...
That is the quietest blender I've ever heard.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and it's foamy and smells so good right here. So now you're just gonna take, you know, an espresso or a really strong coffee and pour that on top.
Yumna, I love this. And what I really like about this is that you can do this for us here in Houston when it's going to be, our triple digit streak continues. I love that you can modify this and make a cold drink.
So, as you might guess, the cold version is super similar, but instead of using milk, we're actually going to use heavy whipping cream or half and half because we want it to be thick and foamy. And this version is basically the pumpkin cold brew that Starbucks is also really known for. So it's not a latte, but it's more of a cold brew that is super popular as well. So instead of milk, we're going to use some heavy whipping cream or half and half. And we'll add maple syrup because it's easier to blend than regular sugar when it comes to a cold drink. Again, we're going to do pumpkin puree and pumpkin spice. And then this time, you can blend it however you want. I'm actually just gonna blend it with a little frother. You can also blend it by just shaking it up really well in a mason jar until it gets nice and thick. And what's gonna happen is it's almost gonna look like whipped cream, but not yet. So it gets nice and thick and foamy. And then you add that on top of the cold brew. So once you've got that going, I have some homemade cold brew right here. You can also buy Starbucks cold brew. Got ice, mason jar. I'm gonna add the cold brew on top, just enough to fill it. And then you can whip this up until it becomes nice and thick. Or if you don't have a lot of patience, just whip it up until the ingredients are mixed, and then you can add this on top.
Easy peasy. Looks delicious.
It's so good, and it has all the flavors of fall and super easy. This will cost you like $1 a mason jar. You can make like 5 or 6 at once for friends or family. Super easy to make. We've got the cold version and warm version, depending on your weather and whatever flavor you want.
All right, your belly will be happy and your wallet will too. Yumna, thank you so much for coming on this show this morning. We appreciate your time. Be sure to follow her on her page on TikTok. This is Feel Good Foodie. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Zach. Take care.